My name is Sandy Williams. I'm from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and I was hired by 20th Century Fox for craft services to help provide all kinds of refreshments and snacks for the cast and crew of Gone Girl. They used our subdivision, Royal Lake Estates, to film the search and rescue part of the movie, or at least some of it. And then in the midst of all that, they used our home to provide the lunch for cast and crew. We have an outbuilding, so they brought in sandwiches and drinks and sat out there and we had lunch. I was just like the hostess for the place because it was my house, so I was just helping, and they actually use a catering company called 4 Stars Catering. And in the midst of all that, I kind of got to meet with some of them because I was helping them get everything set up, and that's when they asked if I would come and work with them for the rest of the time here in Cape and help them with their craft services. Yeah, Ben Affleck is also going to be the next Batman, so he's training and eating like Batman also, so we had to make sure that he had certain foods that he wanted or asked for, I guess you would say. Brazil nuts, turkey sandwiches, apples, anything that would go along with his regimen for getting ready to be Batman. He'd come over to the craft service cart, and then we would get him whatever they needed. Him and the director, any of the actresses, actors, crew. So pretty much it was more for cast and crew, and then we provided a lot with the extras when they did the large group filming like downtown at night. A week that my son did not have school, so I just brought him with me to work, as you would say. And we were outside at the jury lodge, and I was explaining to my son Tell that he was going to be the next Batman. And he said, well, we should get him to sign my Batman shirt. And I said, well, you know, that's a good idea. So we ran home and got our book and t-shirt, a couple other things I can't remember that had Batman stuff. And we caught up with Ben, and he signed all the stuff with his name for Batman. So that's kind of exciting. It'll be fun to see the movie when it comes out too. When David Fincher was at our house for lunch, I asked him if he would sign my Gone Girl book. And he said, you know, I just really can't do that because I just think it's only fair that Jillian signs it first, the author that wrote the book. And I said, well, I don't know that I'll ever see her, you know. He goes, well, I will. So he took my book, and he also took my neighbor's book, and he had her sign them. And then he also signed them and returned them on the last day when they left Cape Girardeau. So it was kind of neat to have that book and have it signed by both of them. I thought it was a great experience. I'd never been in a situation like this, so for me it was just fun. I'm a stay-at-home mom with 4 kids, so it's kind of fun to get out of the house. And dealing with them, they're all real nice. They come up to you, ask you, hey, what's there to do? Where's a good place to go eat? I got to know some of them so well that I shared my babysitters with them so that when their families were in from California, they could go out into town and visit Cape, and my babysitters would go over there and to the hotel and watch their kids. And you know, it was just almost kind of like family. We've kept up with Meddy, the craft service assistant that I worked under. We probably speak to him at least once every 2 or 3 weeks. He sent me t-shirts now and calls to check and see how everything was doing and going. He had called me recently, beginning of summer, and said there was a chance they might come back for some reshoots, and that he wouldn't get to come, but if I would be available to help, you know, but I guess that never happened. So I thought that it was fun to have them here. They got to see a lot of neat things. I got to see a lot of neat things, and I'm excited about seeing the movie for sure. From a different aspect, you know, I'm not gonna see myself. They'd asked me if I wanted to be an extra. That's how all that started. But with the kids, I just couldn't do that. It takes up too much time. So, but it'll be fun to see it. Our house and our neighborhood's all in the trailer, so we already see a little bit of the glimpse of what it's going to be like. So it'll be fun to see the whole thing. Probably the all-night shoots at the courthouse lawn. Just the magnitude of something like that. Not only the cast and crew, but we fed over 600 people that night. There was 400 extras, and then you always had about 200 between cast and crew and just anybody that worked in the business there. Hairdressers, stylists, photographers. So there were so many different people that worked, EMTs, you had everything. So when we would set up for like a dinner or a meal, that was a big thing because one, we were working from 5 in the afternoon to 5 in the morning, and that's hard on everybody. And it was hot. It was very, very hot. So we went through tons of cases of water. I'm sure Snooks was glad that we were here ordering water, but I'm sure they were glad when we were done asking them to keep delivering it that night. But I think that was what neat. And you just never saw anybody get down or bummed out. Everybody was so excited to be in part of the movie that it was like an all-night party, and it was just really fun to be a part of it.